Another thing that we can do with assignments are chained assignments. So I'm going to make another and basically we can, let's say we want to initialize 5 variables to 0. We could do this. We could say a equals 0, b equals 0. Actually, we'll just do 3 because that's enough. And that would work. But another way we can do this is just say a equals b equals c equals 0. And what you'll see is that this will assign 0 to all of them. And if I made this 5, it will do the same thing. So this is a convenient way of initializing multiple variables to the same value. If we wanted these to be lists, we could make them all be equal to an empty list. Note that, remember, these are references, so if I then said a equals a dot append 5 and then printed a b c, question, will they all have 5 or will just the first one have 5? Well, let's see. Well, they all changed. Does that mean we have 3 separate lists? The 5? No, actually what we have is list A, B, and C are all pointing the same one. So, so just some interesting attributes of this. With sequences. And let's try this. Equals z equals 0, and then we'll print x comma y comma z, and then we'll say x is equal to 5, and then again print x comma y comma z, and we'll see the difference between this number and these 3. Well, notice that when I changed x with the individual variables pointing to a number, it only changed the first one, but when I had a sequence and I changed one of them, it changed all of them. So why is this behavior different? Well, the reason is that when we're talking about a primitive type, for example, a number or a character, then what will happen is that we're not dealing with pointers. We're actually putting this value in this variable, and the variable is actually holding the value. So what ends up happening is we only modify one. But here, when we're dealing with a sequence or a list, this is a reference type, and the variable doesn't holding the actual value. It's actually pointing to it, and it kind of makes sense. Since this can be variable length, they kind of have to put this in another place in memory and have these variables point to the location. And so you're going to see some differences in behavior between sequences and other reference types and primitive types here. Now, how would we make this behave like that one? Well, we would have to do this. We would have to actually make these all individual lists, and you can kind of see that, okay, now I in point of fact have three lists created here, and in this case we're going to get, we can see at the end only one was modified because these are in fact 3 separate lists. They're not all pointing to the same list. So just some just some different behaviors when we chain the assignments. Thank you.